I'm live though, so be careful. What do you need?
I just wanted to know why we're doing nonsense.
Right after this.
Okay.
Yo, 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 yo. I want to know, no, if you guys can hear me. Silver in the house, Max in the house, Musings in the house, Sarah Jade in the house. Obviously we've got the Cohen situation as a topic, but honestly we can talk about anything really. I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so I miss my homie. So there you are. Let me put that up on the Village and Patreon, and then we can start rocking and rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Dirk, long time no see, buddy. What you been up to, big homie? What have you been up to? Where's Tina? I haven't seen Tina in a while. Let me go to Patreon real quick. Sop with Soupy. What's up, big homie? Sop with Soupy in the house. Let me post this on Patreon. Patreon. Doop, doo, 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 doo. There's a live stream. Fireside. So what are we talking about today, ladies and gents? What are we talking about today? Oh, Z in the house. I thought you were hosting something, Z. I had my all my chi lined up to not have to, you know, to deal with the horrible reality that you weren't gonna be here. But here you are. And I'm very happy about that. So, Z, you're hosting something. What are you hosting? We can talk about me. That's always interesting. Oh, no, I didn't catch it, Sop with Soupy, because I don't even know what the Clash are. I'm assuming the Clash is a what do you call it? Band. Ayush, my man, I think you're going to be extremely pleased in a day or two. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, my friend. Trans tech, a transgender techies and scientist society. No way. Hey, Becky. Clash is a punk band. We got to do Punk Week. I need a list of like really, really like true cult, true cult, what do you call it? Thingamajiggies. It's my favorite Jamaican American Christian fundamentalist, intellectual, new metal enthusiast, pro-life, male feminist, male fanatic. I'm gonna screenshot that because that's fantastic. I haven't been called a fundamentalist in a really long time, so. Boop. Dead Kennedys, Rancid. I'm actually writing these down. Dead Kennedys, Rancid. Keep bringing Misfits, okay. I think we did a Misfit song. Didn't we do a Misfit song? Matthew Winter in the house. What's up, big homie? Yeah, we've been kind of busy too. Keep giving me punk bands. Q-Star in the house. Topic, Article 13. Article 13, I'm pretty sure, is that horrible. I don't know if it's horrible because I don't know enough information yet. So I can't say it's horrible per se. But it seems like it would be limiting YouTube, at least on the European side. Vin, did you see the abortion stuff I sent you in FB Messenger? It's nuts. Yes, I did. I didn't shoot a Middle America video on it because I want to do more research on things before I shoot the video. So, but yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. Zonia is the #1 punk expert here. What do you think about Trump meeting? Trump meeting who? With Kim? I'm gonna shoot a Middle America video on it, but if you're talking about Trump meeting with North Korea and then flip-flopping on what caused the death of an American citizen, I, that seems like a massive, massive, massive betrayal to me. And maybe, again, I don't speak a lot about issues until I've fully researched them, but it just seems to me that the Otto Warmbier situation. I don't know if I pronounced his name properly. But that flip flop to me seemed pretty problematic. At the end of the day, for me, I'm a patriot. I'm a big America guy. So we had an American citizen that was over there and suffered horribly and ended up dying. And for Trump to flip flop on that bothers me. But I hear you, MDef fan. Trump's trying to avoid a war. Okay, you got to give him that. I get it, but I think there's ways to avoid a war without that stuff. Gen G in the house. Haven't seen Gen G in a man. I feel like I haven't talked to y'all in a while. What is up? He's a New England Patriot. That's right. Yeah, addicted to outrage. Yeah, that's an interesting line. Yeah, I don't know if he has no backbone, but he definitely talks a good game. But when it's time to, I don't know, time to stand up to these guys, these sadomasochistic, megalomaniacal freaks. He doesn't do a very good job, I don't think. What's going on, Ian? Is hardcore close enough to punk? Well, I want like punk, like real punk. So I don't know. So no, hardcore is not close enough to punk. All right. Okay, Matthew. Thank you for the super chat, my guy. It's good to see you around. I missed your face. Is the channel okay? Channel is good. What do you call it? With homeschooling. And so we're working that into our rhythm and such. But we just shot 3 videos just now, and then we did a fireside. So the channel's good. So yeah, channel's good though. It's my girlfriend's birthday today. Can you say happy birthday? Michael Ray's birthday. Michael Ray's girlfriend. Are you Michael Ray? Or is this a different Michael Ray? Are you my buddy Michael Ray from the other world or what? But either way, happy birthday to Michael Ray's girlfriend. Channel is good. Immediate lag spike. Yeah. I think we're back though. I got to give it to you guys in the homeschooling. That's awesome. It's not easy. Yeah, although I'm loving it, man. I'm enjoying it so much. And it's cool to have, we got a little class going because there's 4 of them. So, I'm very, very happy that I get to do it. Yes, I'm watching Alex Jones on Joe Rogan. Fashaw. That was interesting. I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but yeah. I'm still trying to figure out what Alex Jones, like why why Alex Jones is a thing. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to understand it, and I don't get it. So, but yeah, I'll work with A99 to get a list of classic. Thank you, Silver. Legitimately, thank you, because I'm really serious. I definitely want to do. I want to tape a bunch of shows, basically, because we're gearing up for the baby, and so we're gonna do a lot of pre-tapes, and so I would like to do like a whole. We basically need 14 punk songs, right? So that's gonna take care of Punk Week, and then maybe we'll do Hardcore Week. Maybe we'll do a Ladies Week 2.0, that type of thing. So, we're not gonna do all themed weeks for Shori's leave, but we're gonna have a couple themed weeks in and out, and then there's supposed to be one with Ben, like Ben Webb takes he gets an entire week to determine what songs we're doing, etc. So so yeah. Alex Jones shows why meth is bad. Well, here's the thing. If you believed, I don't really know if he actually believes what he's saying anyway. But if you believed what he says is true, then you would be like perpetually angry yourself. You know what I mean? Like you'd be freaking out too. You'd be losing your mind. So it's one of those things where I always go, yeah, this dude's crazy. But then I'm like, I don't know. It's weird. Ben gets a whole week. No, I don't think Ben is literally going to get a whole week. That was just something we were playing around with last Fireside. So I'm trying to get a 4-month-old to stop crying as we speak. Yeah. Did you see the trailer for the new anti-abortion movie coming out? Oddly enough, I actually stay away from abortion movies. It's just like anytime there's a video of a black dude getting shot by a cop, I generally don't watch those as a matter of course because I can't watch that stuff. So I actually try to stay away from abortion media because it's too much for me. But I heard it got an R rating, which is ironic because the girl can go down there and get an abortion at 16 without her parents knowing, but she can't watch the movie about it by herself. Vingo starts as soon as we get the first call. What's up, Overshadow Sean? Gershok in the house. What's up, y'all? March 28th. Very, very doable. Send me an email. Keep reminding me. A lot of this, Jesus says the flesh is the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So I'd love to do this for everybody's birthday. It's just that I forget. So keep sending me emails and keep doing that. That black metal movie, this is the Lords of Chaos one, right? I had a thought in my head to watch the movie and do a what do you call it? A review on the movie. Because I think it's relevant to our channel, to the other channel. So yes, who do you like more, Ben Shapiro or Jordan Peterson? Oh, it's not even close. Jordan Peterson. I love Jordan Peterson. I love him. I love him to death. How do I get you to react to more rap songs? I need a serious answer. I think it's going to be very difficult to get us to react to rap songs. There's when This Is America came out, everybody was scrambling to do it because it was such a huge song and it guaranteed you like 50,000 hits. And it was pretty early in our channel. We actually shot, cut, edited the whole thing, the whole reaction. And then we just didn't publish it because it's just not what we do. I don't know. Rap is just too familiar to me, and there's too much. This is what people don't understand. Where people are like, you're ignorant, you don't know anything about metal. Like, I love that. I love not knowing anything about what I'm talking about. And I love the discoveries and the facts and the backstories. Whereas with rap, I don't know. It's probably too familiar. So it's probably going to be a while until rap actually comes into the channel, if ever. The Rockstar one was different because there was some musicianship to it, and I really enjoyed it. But it's gonna take a long time for us to get a rap song up there if ever. We're having a boy, Anthony. Yeah, Mank, I reacted to Dead Presidents by Jay-Z. It's there, buried in the ether, but it's there. Who do you like more, Hitchens, Harris, or Dawkins? I think I gotta give the edge to Hitchens. I love Hitchens' animosity and his sarcasm and all that. I love that. So I'm gonna have to give it to Hitchens. Yeah, Teet, I saw that, and honestly, it wouldn't surprise me at all. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't true, that would surprise me. Man with a Path, thank you very much. Thanks for the Ueda play, Vin. Much love to you, big homie. Ever heard underground Oakland street rap? No. Yeah, Q Star. When I first started when we first started the channel, I was watching about 3 hours of Peterson a day because I was so fascinated with him. But then as the channel blew up and then various forums happened, I haven't been able to talk a lot about. To listen to the big homie in a while. Yeah, Mortal Technique. Yeah, I've heard a lot about him. Hey, Ranger275. Will Ben Askren's funk style defeat Lawler's warrior style? No, I'm going to stick with Lawler. I'm going to stick with Lawler. Matthew Maeda, what's up, big homie? What's up, big homie? Sorry's coming in the house. The real star. The real star. Ian Aspie in the house. Peterson would be great if he did not play word games. What do you mean by that, Doss? We have not watched the PJ Pink Pop vid yet, Charlie, because we're eventually going to listen to that one. But that's going to be like 3 or 4 months down the line. So we purposely haven't watched it yet.
Hey guys.
But we're gonna redo that again. Main topics for today would be Trump, Cohen, music, anything you guys want to talk about. Sorry's in the house.
And happy birthday, Alicia.
Do I think Bryce Harper deserves the money on the new contract? Look, if Bryce Harper justifies the hot dog going from $15 to $25, and the parking spaces going from $25 to $50, and people will come just to see Bryce Harper, then they're gonna make all that money back in the first 2 years, right? So, plus endorsements and all the rest of it. At the end of the day, what it comes down to in baseball is pitching, and that guy, he's online every 3 or 4 days, right? So baseball is not one of those positions where you're paying for a skill player who's going to guarantee you a title. So, for example, here in New England, if we had Blake Bortles as our quarterback, we're screwed. So there are certain sports where one skilled player is basically going to guarantee you a title or put you in some serious contention. But baseball doesn't operate that way because there's too many disconnected pieces. And so does he deserve the money that the Phillies gave him, in the sense of, is he going to make that much of a difference as far as win share, and is he going to push him into October? No. But is he going to bring some excitement and pop to Philly? Absolutely. And are people going to be willing to pay extra because they get to see Bryce Harper 70 to 90 times a year? Probably. Chanel Morris, why did you cry? What'd you cry about? Was it too hard, too tough?
Or just a bad day? I cried a couple times today too. I'm like, man.
Go ahead, answer. I'll tell you.
Huh? Did you say take this?
Yeah. Would you ever cross the border
Hello.
and go to heavy metal in Montreal?
Hi.
That is not outside of the
This
realm
is
of
who?
possibility. This is the big
This is
homie.
Rich.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, you don't have the mic.
Yeah.
You're just going without it? Okay, hold on. Let me put you on speaker, Rich. Was Rich?
Yeah, it's big homie.
Okay.
Is this the Build the Wall fundraiser? Yes, Leah. It's the Build the Wall fundraiser. Send us all your money.
Yeah.
See, I'll take her money for that. She wants to do that shit. Hey, talk to me.
Talk to me, Obadorian.
What's up, man?
What's up? What's going on? Michael Cohen.
What about him?
Once our enemy, now our friend? I don't understand.
Yeah, isn't it really interesting how people's attitudes are supposed to change based on how the media wants us to believe? You know what I mean? Like,
I see it.
Like, we're so easy to be manipulated by these people. It's insane.
I don't know where the speaker is, but
Yeah.
it's too loud.
You saw a Senate struck down the third-term abortion thing?
No, I didn't see that one. They struck it down.
Republicans put it on the floor,
and
Democrats voted it down.
Yeah, the Born Alive Infant Protection Act.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't surprise me with those people, but I'm still doing some more research on it.
Those people?
Yeah,
those people?
With the Democratic Party.
Oh, yeah. Those people.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me with them. But I don't, I want to make sure that this is not just more media manipulation. I mean, it looks monstrous. I tweeted, I said, if this is what it looks like, these people are evil. But I already knew that they were evil. But, I need to do more research on it. That's why I'm not publishing any official episodes on it yet.
Okay. What about North Korea?
Yeah, apparently the North Koreans aren't that bad, and Kim Jong-un isn't that bad, and Otto, they're not really necessarily to blame for Otto dying and all that. Apparently, we're good with the North Koreans. And I guess like M. Deathman was saying, he's trying, we're trying to avert a war here. And so you've got to kind of.
No one wants war.
You got to kind of.
No one wants war.
Yeah.
That's why I'm up in the air about Venezuela.
Yeah.
I'm up in the air about that subject. I'm up in the air.
Yeah, anything you can do to avoid war. I don't think people really understand what happens in a war, like on the ground. War is hell. I mean, it's the closest thing to hell, this side of hell. So anything you can do to avoid it is great. I'm just not really a fan of,
Intervention. Yeah, if we never got rid of Saddam, no ISIS. If we never got rid of the Sheikh in Iran, no Iran.
Right.
It would be still Democrat state.
Right.
Intervention only brings bad things.
Yeah.
Libya.
Oh yeah, the whole Arab Spring thing was a debacle with Obama.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Anytime we intervene, it's only bad. And I'm up in the air about Venezuela. I'm so up in the air about it. I don't want troops going down there.
Yeah, I mean, I that's the thing about Venezuela is like there's the human interest story, right? And so you don't want to say screw those people.
There's a human interest story about North Korea.
That's correct. Right. So
there's a human interest story about anywhere.
Right.
In those shithole countries.
Right. So why
shithole countries.
Why all of a sudden now are we supposed to go to Venezuela and there's horrible stuff happening all over the planet, So I'm reserving a lot of judgment for a lot of these situations because, you know, I like to slow down and really think through what I'm looking at before I say anything. But yeah, for
But
sure.
you agree that Trump is the most not pulling the trigger president we had. He doesn't pull the trigger. He talks a big game, but
Yeah, Trump.
he's talking about de-escalating war.
Trump clearly does not
He wants
want.
peace.
He clearly does not want jihad, and I think that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. And I don't know if people remember this or not, but I'm eventually going to shoot a Middle America video where I collage these things. But Hillary was speaking very hawkishly during the Democratic primaries about Russia and airspaces in Syria, etc.
The Hawks are both on the right and left.
Yeah.
The Hawks are there.
But my point is, one of the angles that people don't think about in this whole Russian collusion stuff is maybe Putin didn't want to go to war with us, and the Democratic candidate was talking about going to war with us, and the Republican with them, and the Republican candidate was saying, hey, we need to sit in dialogue and talk before we go to war. And maybe that was one of the reasons that you know, the Russians would want the Republican candidate to win this time around. So there's just a lot of angles that I think a lot of folks are not thinking through. But yeah, anything you can do.
The military industrial complex is on both sides.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, well, we saw that with Iraq. I mean, that's, you know, obvious. All right, man. Much love to you, my guy.
Obadorian.
What'd you say?
Obadorian.
What about him?
That's your son's name.
Yeah,
that's your name.
I'm Abudorian.
I know.
Right.
That's why I called you Abudorian.
Yeah, mashallah. Thank you. Hey guys, so Abu means father of, and then obviously Dorian, right? So I would be Abu Dorian, and Dorian would be Ibn Vin, right?
Exactly.
All right.
Peace.
And speaking of which, come over here.
Wait, we got to get him to plug this in first. Plug that in.
We were just talking about you, Ya Rasulullah. So, Richard, do you have Muslims in your family? Where'd he go? Did he leave? Or did your phone die? He's gone. He's gone. Wave to the people. Mr. 1%.
Can they see me?
Yeah, but you won't be able to see what they see. Just wave right now because you're up, but there's a lag.
Oh,
here, look. There you go.
Oh. Ugh.
Say hi to the people.
Hi guys.
All right, get out of here.
Which
I
one?
got it.
You gotta hit that and go there. Oh, okay.
Chris Cope in the house. Robert Kraft situation. I think if it's true, it's terrible, and that the NFL needs to have swift punishment to Robert Kraft. Apparently, these young ladies were they were lured into America. They were told that they were going to be able to have legitimate jobs, and then once they came here, they were cut off from their family and forced to work in this massage parlor where they were forced to service 24 men a day. I think it's completely criminal.
Pretty terrible.
I think it's evil, and I think if he participated in it, he needs to do some jail time. Now, obviously, there's a bunch of moral deniability because he's going to say,
he didn't know.
If it's definitive, he's going to say, I didn't know. I'm thinking about shooting a video on the connection between sex trafficking and pornography. I actually did shoot a video about that. It's not published on Middle America, but yeah, I mean, it's a pretty terrible situation, and a lot of people, especially Patriots fans, are justifying this guy's actions, and I think that that's completely reprehensible. So it is human trafficking, Mark. That's exactly what it is.
He's going. Oh, he's going to trial.
Yeah, he pleaded not guilty,
But there's video evidence.
well, they say that there's video evidence, so I don't know.
Oh.
People seem to want to talk about it going one way and not talking about it the other way. I don't know what the other way is. What do you think about the new Alliance Football League? I think I haven't watched. I watched like an 8-minute like summary of one of the games. I think it's okay, but I mean they're clearly the level of play is clearly not at the NFL level. I mean that's obvious. Favorite Pantera song? Oh. Right now, off the top of my head, probably Floods.
Mine was that one where they're coming into town. What was the name of that one?
Cowboys from Hell. Hers is Cowboys from Hell. Mine would be Floods, I think, because it was such a unique song. Walk's a good one, but it's crazy to me crazy thing to me about Pantera. I think Walk is a good song. Don't get me wrong, but all the other songs I've heard blow it away, and maybe that's because Walk was the only song I was familiar with, and everybody plays Walk. But I just feel like all the other songs that we've listened to from them are just way better from an artistic and even heavy perspective. Mm-hmm. I think Floods is heavier than Walk. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking blasphemous, but yeah. Favorite Slipknot song is probably what's that slow one they did? If you love me, let me go. Snuff. Leah, I'm purposely not answering that question. You didn't really Mitch Must BC. A few years back, there was an East Asian dude found around the corner from me in an abandoned building who was trafficked, and he used his slave to farm cannabis. That's terrible. Good Lord. Yeah, Mark, you're right. I mean, and that's exactly what it is. It's modern slavery. That's for sure. Thanks, MDeath fan. Appreciate that, big homie. MDeath fan, are you guys homeschooling your kids?
Have you ever been in a sauna?
Yes.
Did you like it? That's kind of what you're trying to create in the bathroom, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I had to be there.
In a sauna?
Yep. I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, well, that's different. It's not there for enjoyment then.
No, it wasn't for enjoyment.
I'm not a big sauna person.
But yeah, I love the sauna effect for sure.
I mean, if I could have a tube so I could breathe some good clear air.
I kind of like the distressed breathing of the sauna.
Yeah. Ugh.
Thank you, Z. How far into classic rock have you guys been exposed to? I don't really know how to answer that question because I don't even know what the definition of classic rock is. Give me the name of a classic rock band and then maybe I'll be able to tell you.
Give me 3 hours.
Yeah, I was listening to Majesty by Ghost and you didn't like it. We didn't like Majesty by Ghost? Did we not like that one? I think you might have liked it.
Honey, I don't remember. It's too many songs in...
See, Accept. Everybody keeps saying Accept. That's a band. We got to listen to the Accept. What's going on, Alex Frank? What are you laughing at?
Well, it's just because I see the list that I have already in Trello, and I'm like, stop fucking promising things to people.
I didn't say... See, this is the thing. If I say, oh, we got to listen to that, that's not my promise. I'm not promising anything.
Then people think that it's a promise.
I don't think people think that. I think people are using that word to position something. Are you okay?
The milk.
You okay?
She's fine. She just tripped on the cup of milk. Still, hurry and bring me...
Are you guys smokers? No, I'm not a smoker, Steven. I'm just extremely sick. Well, I'm not extremely sick, but we're sick.
towel, and then we need a bucket of clean water.
I'm sick.
Are we smokers? No.
You should and fix your mistakes. Which mistake? Yeah, it's a promise. Yeah, you have to give the Pixies a fair try. Now, Pixies, I do remember saying we were gonna do some more Pixies.
I'm due May 8th, but Vin thinks I'm gonna go early.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Frank? We don't get sick a lot. What are you talking about?
No, it's just been one long one since we went to that NAMM show. Like, I haven't gotten over it. Well, no, I was sick a bunch at the beginning of my pregnancy.
Somebody just asked me about Creedence Clearwater Revival. That's so funny. What do you think about AOC and her ideas?
Yeah, Alex, I'm still sick from then. It never went away.
First of all, yeah, Ian. To all of our Europeans, definitely gonna try to push firesides up a little bit earlier. So that's number one. AOC.
Yeah, we're having a boy.
Look, it's a very strange phenomenon to me that people. It is extremely difficult to become the president of the United States or to get into AOC's position, to position and to manipulate social media in such a way that you can have almost zero experience and then end up. Can you close the door, please?
The milk is all over the floor. We're working on getting it cleaned up.
So the point is, it's extremely difficult to position yourself to get to the presidency of the United States or to get to where AOC is. So this idea that she's a moron or Trump is a moron, I think we need to move past that. Mm-hmm. The fact that you're in that situation means you're extremely intelligent. Now, where that intelligence is located is different for everybody. Some people are very book smart. You know, like Zonia. I'm pretty sure Zonia is a self-made person in Silicon Valley, which is extremely difficult to do. So I just think we need to pump our brakes a little bit. If we disagree with somebody, we don't have to insult their intelligence. Obviously, she's doing something right. She's got a very, very high intelligence factor. I just think that when you are in front of a camera, as somebody who experiences this at a much, much less level than her, obviously, but when you're in front of a camera all the time, if somebody wants to make you look dumb, they can make you look dumb.
Right.
Right? Like, they did it to Bush. They did it to Trump.
They did it to you with that meme the other night.
The Republicans were doing with Obama. You know what I mean? I just think it's dishonest to say that these people are idiots. They're actually very brilliant people. But I just think that I wish she would have got there and kind of observed a little bit before she started talking, because she's given enough. She's put enough blood in the right-wing Shark Tank. Let's say it that way. And I wish she'd be a little bit more seasoned. And the other thing about AOC, which is the biggest story, is that a lot of the establishment Democrats don't like her. And so she's navigating some pretty complex waters. And so to say that she's stupid is silly to me. Yeah, I mean, I hear that, Lee. I hear, like, she's not qualified to be in the position. That may or may not be true. But, you know, your guy Trump, I mean, all he knows is being a TV show host. You know what I mean? So is he qualified? Well, if you're right winger, sure. You know? You know who had massive qualifications? You know who the most qualified person was in the previous election? Hillary Rodham Clinton. That's not even a question. That's not even a question as far as qualifications go. So qualifications and intelligence are not exactly the same thing.
Close the door when you go out, please. Huh? The computer's not plugged in? Oh, that's fine.
Don't worry about the red charger, honey. Stop, Vin.
She's a criminal?
What am I supposed to stop? HRC is a criminal. Yeah, sure.
Hey,
What's going on,
Osiris?
Trump's track record of turning $1 million into $7 billion speaks for itself. I was just talking to my son about that yesterday. I said, all these people say Trump's an idiot and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know. So all these people that get to these positions, they're good at something.
Mm-hmm.
And they're above average intelligence at something. And being able to manipulate social media, I don't know if any of you guys were tracking her campaign in the Bronx, but the way that she launched a low budget campaign that unseated the incumbent Democrat. I mean, she's smart. She's smart. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say you can't say she's stupid.
Right.
When she's positioned herself this way.
But nobody beats Obama. Not Obama. Nobody beats Trump putting all that crazy stuff out there all the time. So he was constantly getting free advertising.
Who? Oh, well, that's Trump. Exactly. Like, again, people were saying that Trump was stupid and all that. And Trump realized that if I post something on Twitter, the entire conversation is going to be about me. That's a form of intelligence.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
It is. Yeah, I'm not book smart or street smart, but I'm probably some kind of smart we don't know about that yet. Unemployment is only low because people are working 2 jobs. No, I mean, like I said, Leah, if everything that you've ever said on this forum was cut and pasted, people could make you look real silly, sister. I'm sorry. So, yes, she said probably some silly things, but, you know, you got to give it to her. Thoughts on Brexit? I don't know enough about Brexit to. What I actually wanted to do was to get somebody I trust on the European side to shoot a Middle America video about Brexit and put it up on the site because it's that important to me. I would love to have like a European kind of news angle so that I could kind of have it filtered out with information that I trust.
I would be a terrible first lady. Because I'd be mad at your president all the time for not spending enough time with me. I'd be like, what? It's not like you're running the country.
Right. The world would be terrified to have such staunch Christians in office. I agree. Real Christians. Not those fake Christians who hate immigrants. Yes, I said it. What's up?
Remember that it's too much. Too close.
What's up, Vin and Sorry?
Hi.
I had a few questions. Do you feel like I mean, obviously our president right now is kind of weird, I guess. I mean, I'll probably get a lot of hate, but I kind of believe in some things that he's doing, but not everything. But do you feel like every president in the United States should at least serve the military for a little while before, running?
That's a.
Because, I mean...
You're the commander-in-chief, right?
I think it makes sense. I would like it.
Right, you're the commander-in-chief, so that makes a lot of sense to me. Here's the thing, though, Ernie. You ready for this?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm ready.
If you're rich, right?
Uh-huh.
And you want to position your kid to be a president, there's ways you can get him to serve in the military without having him actually serve in the military, right?
Right.
True.
Because when you're thinking about serving the military, you're thinking about being a grunt. So that when he goes and deploy, or she goes to send people off to jihad, she knows what the hell she's talking about because she's been through it herself, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I guarantee you that there's no millionaire/billionaire on the planet, even if that was a requirement, that would send their kid off to do that. Probably what would happen is they'd send him to basic, and then he'd get some specialized admin job working next to his dad or mom as a senator's assistant or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I just don't think it would work out in the ideal way that you would think, right?
Yeah, that actually makes sense now, and that kind of, it totally changes what I believed. But I don't know, like in school, I always thought, these guys serve the military because, you see George Washington, you see pictures of George Washington, doing stuff in the military, I think.
Right.
If I remember correctly.
Oh, sure. I mean, the guy... Washington was a jihad. He got his hands. He almost died a bunch of times, right? So,
yeah,
of course, and that affected his ideas on foreign policy and interventionism and all the rest of it. So it works if you're talking about every person who's going to be considered for president has to do grunt military work. Then great, and if you could solidify that, great. But I just don't think it's going to happen. No, I'll tell you this right now. I feel like I've already paid my debt to my country. I would never send any of my kids into a combat zone.
Yeah.
I would never do it. And if I was a billionaire, I would find a way to make sure that my kids never end up in that situation. I'm just being real with you. So, this is the thing about very rich people, is that they're rich for a reason. They know how to stay rich, and they know how to keep their progeny exactly where they want it, right?
Yeah.
So, it's like System of a Down said, why do they always send the poor?
Somebody else is just saying
That's
that,
true.
too.
I guess listening to them always, gave me the idea of, why don't they fight?
Right.
Because the music I listen to usually gives me an idea of what I believe in.
Yeah, it's a good ideal. I just don't see it happening in the real world.
True. And I don't know if I'm bringing this incorrectly or if I'm wrong, but I believe, I've seen some of y'all's religion talk and stuff.
Yeah.
And I believe in God. That's given. But I don't believe in the aspect of having to go to a church and, because I've been to several churches and they kind of, they've Illuminati themselves, and they went from being in a small building to a building that cost over $1 million, and to me that was kind of wrong because they're like, hey, we're gonna build the church, but we're gonna build it using our congregation's money, and this is gonna be our church, and that kind of killed going to church for me because I don't believe that the money being used in a church is, I don't know, but I don't even know if I'm making sense anymore.
Well, no, it makes sense. We don't promote churches or where you should go or whatever. For me, I know what Jesus has done in my life and continues to do in my life, and he's the most important person in the world to me. And so anybody that's important to you, you're going to talk about him, right? It's like, if you have a band and you're around a bunch of people, you're going to start talking about the band. You're not trying to convert anybody to your band necessarily. You're just, right. It's just part of your nature. It's who you are. And so I'm with you you know, and you haven't touched on the other giant elephant in the room, which is what's come out in the last couple of weeks and months about, you know, the church with the sex abuse scandals, right?
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of issues with the church and things like that, and I completely 100% get that. All I can say is, you know, I know Jesus and what he does in my life, and so he's central for me. You know what I mean? Church, church, not so much.
What's up?
I was just saying, church, not so much.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I got into the music game 10 years ago or 11 now, and you know, I would talk to my pastors and all that stuff, and you know, I would tell them, hey, one day I'm going to be working for musicians, or I'm going to interview them, and they would tell me, oh, or how about you just interview us, and you know, so you can help us. And you know how much hate I got a ton, and they see me now doing everything, and you know, they kind of, you know, hey, congratulations, or, you know, but I've been told several times, you know, you can't come here because you're wrong.
Whoa.
Yeah. And that's what pushed me even more into, you know, believing and doing everything that I do, because, you know, if God didn't want me to do what I do, he shouldn't have given me the passion for it.
Well, I mean, you've got an obvious gift. You've got an obvious passion that you're sharing with the world. I mean, every time we talk, you're always really passionate. So, you know, I would just say continue to do you, man. But, you know, seek out Jesus and how he works in your life, you know?
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I'm a true believer of Jesus Christ. And, you know, every time that I do something or I talk to a band or something, you say a little prayer before going in and after coming out, you know. And I'm a true believer that, you know, God is there every single every single time that I'm, you know, talking to somebody. And if I'm not supposed to talk to them, God makes sure that it doesn't happen, because they'll either be bad or wouldn't be good for me.
I'm with you 100%, my guy. All right, man. It's really good talking to you.
Before I let you guys go, how does the Patreon thing work? Because I recently became a Patreon.
Yeah, so are you part of an alliance?
Not yet.
Okay, so hit me up an email and I will get you connected to an alliance. What's your favorite genre of metal?
Honestly, I like whatever's played on the radio.
Okay. Okay, I can hook you up with an alliance real soon, my guy.
All right, sounds good. And yeah, I'll
and thank
message you through Facebook Messenger on the village thing.
Yeah,
and I sent you a message, and I was the one that sent the hell yeah picture, or the Vinny Paul picture.
The Vinny Paul picture. That was you and Vinny, right?
Yeah, that was me and Vinny.
That's legit. It's a legit picture.
Yeah, dude. Like, honestly, it was a true blessing, and you know, when I found out, I started crying, and there's actually a song that's made by that Hell Yeah created. It's called "Thank You." And that song was written for Chad Gray's grandma, I think. But in the video, they also show soldiers that have passed on, and they show Dimebag, and you know, it was just a huge tribute video for everybody. So now when I listen to it, I think Vinny Pot too, because you know, thank you for everything.
Yeah. And thank you for being a patron, my guy. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Keep up the hard work, and I love you guys. Keep it on.
We love you too.
Without music, life would be a mistake.
Oh, he's that
That's
guy.
a sign off. Yeah. All right. Much love, Ernie.
Later, man.
That's my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not against church. I'm not against church as the institution. I'm not gonna come here and slam the church. For me, you know, we don't promote a church or a denomination or whatever, because quite frankly, a church or a denomination hasn't saved my life. It was Jesus. So,
right.
You know, no disrespect to to any church or any denomination or anything like that. It's kind of where we are.
Somebody asked, they asked, bro, what does God consider a marriage?
Such a strange question. Some of this has to do with the state getting involved with marriage. I mean, I just think the simplest, the most basic thing is Adam and Eve, and God bringing Eve to Adam, and then the two being one flesh, and then being fruitful, multiplying the earth, fill the earth and subdue it. I think that'd be the easiest way to say it. What would you do if one of your kids turned to the occult later in life? I'd love them and tell them to be careful and pray for them a lot. And probably cast out those demons. We had a friend that got into that stuff, and we had some very interesting experiences with her. Let's just say it that way. People ask us this a lot about the kids. What if they this? What if they that?
Yeah.
What if they became an atheist?
Yeah.
I told my son yesterday, we're gonna love you unconditionally. It just and every parent knows this. There's some decisions that it never changes your love for your kid, but some decisions your kids make hurt you.
No, that's not how you said it. It's better than that.
Well, however,
so I'm always gonna love you. Just sometimes if kids make bad decisions, then that love hurts. When they're in a bad spot.
Right.
Either way, you're gonna love your kid, but
right.
If they're in a rough spot or whatever, then that love that you have for them is gonna be painful because you want to see good for your kids.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, man. Good.
Very profound. How did it go, Chanel Morris? Hope it went good for you.
Yeah.
I know you don't like to bash on super churches, but just bash on who's one preacher you can't get on board with. Well, I mean, all these guys. There is a story in the Bible, and probably the Christians in the room are probably going to get angry at me, but probably the most misinterpreted statement of Jesus is Jesus is at the temple and he's watching people put money into the money bin for the temple. And he looks at this woman and he says, this woman is a widow and she gave everything that she had. That's all that she had. And a lot of people interpret that as Jesus is commending her and saying, she's awesome. Look, she gave her last dime. Mm-hmm. And I don't believe that that's what Jesus was saying. Because literally, the verse is literally stacked right above that verse, where he talks about religious leaders who devour widows' houses. He says those people will be punished most severely. And then, in the next scene, you see a woman who's a widow who gives all she has to live on. So Jesus is not saying, oh, look at this widow. She's so devoted. What he's saying is, this right here is what I'm talking about.
Oh, wow.
I just talked about people devouring widows' houses, and here we are, this widow's giving everything that she has. And then the very next thing Jesus talks about is destroying the temple. He's like, I'm going to completely destroy all of this. You want to create a religious system that takes money out of the hands of the weak and the vulnerable because you're promising some sort of spiritual whatever? I'm going to completely destroy your institution. So the entire idea of you're going to give to God and he's going to whatever, and all these poor single women giving their last rent money to Creflo Dollar to fund his jet or whatever. I think that those people are, I think those are terrible people. I think that's terrible. Yeah, I've heard that atheism is a religion. I just don't understand how you could say that. How could you say atheism is a religion when they're denying the central focus of religion, which is God? I'm not trying to be funny. I just don't understand it. Have you ever said that? Atheism's a religion?
No, but Well, what do you how define religion? I don't even think I have a problem necessarily.
I would define religion as a way for men and God to interact, or how they interact with each other.
Oh, well, then in that case, well, yeah, I guess. Yeah. I don't have a problem, I don't think, if somebody calls it, if they're like, my religion is atheism.
I've never heard an atheist say that.
No,
it's usually an
I haven't either.
accusation from Christians.
Yeah.
Sorry I didn't say hi to you, Leah.
That's because you're right, Leah. It's because you hate my makeup.
Yeah, I could see secular humanism as a kind of a religion, I guess. I look at secular humanism as more philosophy. Well, I remember like 5 to 8 years ago, there was this thing called Atheism Plus, which was like, we're going to be moral. There were like rules, there were like commandments and stuff, but they were atheists. And
really?
that kind of fizzled out in about 6 months. But
what do you feel when you hear there is God and then there is religion? I don't feel anything negative. I think that I kind of feel like that sometimes myself. But I think that I obviously believe that the Bible is very important, and that it's the words of God and stuff, and that, we should study it and learn it and stuff like that. But I think that when I think of religion, I think of stuff that people put together to make, I don't know, to make themselves feel better, or maybe they thought that it was the ways to get closer to God. So when I think of the word religion, that's what I think of. I don't necessarily think of actually somebody who really knows God, but more somebody who knows some teachings that may or may not have come from God. Yeah, overshadow Sean. Religion sometimes keeps people away from God.
Yeah, I think people kind of created that dichotomy because there were a lot of things that the representatives of God do in God's name that God never told us to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that, people want to make those distinctions and say, hey, this is not like Jesus, right? So I get that for sure.
Leah, I'm totally joking. I loved it that you made that video and critiqued my stuff. I got a huge kick out of it.
So did I.
Yeah, so did he. But yeah, if you make a video, I'll watch it. And XBM, I'm feeling good. Actually, it's funny because I'm pretty sure you're the one that always asks how I'm feeling and that if I'm feeling strong. And so I've been trying to be a little bit more active, or do different scooches, like different things to strengthen my legs and stuff, and like kind of prepare for delivery. So you've kind of put it in my head. So we actually went out for a walkie hike sort of thing in the woods today with the kids. And I was thinking about that, instead of thinking how uncomfortable I was thinking about I'm strengthening myself, I have the delivery coming and stuff like that. So thank you very much.
I was in a church that was so strict, I felt like I could never live up to their ideals. If you didn't speak in tongues, you were not part of the group. Yeah, Taffer. I mean, that's the craziness, right? And the Bible explicitly says clearly that not everybody speaks in tongues. But, again, it's there is a lot of diversity in Christianity, and you see that a lot in the New Testament, where Paul's like, hey, this guy is a vegan, this guy likes to eat meat, don't judge each other, don't put it in each other's faces, this guy wants to celebrate this day, that guy wants to celebrate this day, just leave it, just chill out, just relax, you belong to God, stop fighting over this stupidness and get along with each other. There's a lot of leeway. For example, there is no defined liturgy in the New Testament as to how a church service is to be run. And there's a very important strategic reason for that, namely that the church is supposed to be able to meld with the culture because it's supposed to be a global religion. If you go to a masjid, if you go to a mosque, you basically have the same order of service no matter what mosque there is because it's based in Arab culture.
Right.
And so there was actually the church initially, the reason it spread so rapidly in the face of persecution was that it was able to ingratiate itself to whatever culture that was there, because they didn't have all these stringent rules and policies, so that a person from another culture wasn't able to adapt Christianity. So, I mean, one, it somebody said, like, these religious additions keep people away from God, but the other is, it's just bad strategy. If you want to make everybody like you, then you're gonna dilute the people pool.
I tried to use guilt. Don't know what that means.
Yes, I was in the middle of watching the Joe Rogan podcast and such when I fired up the Fireside. So, yeah.
Senior Clay, I speak more than one language. I can recognize an actual language when I hear one. People speaking in tongues is nothing but gibberish. Well, actually, in 1 Corinthians, when you read about it, it talks about there's the tongue of men and the tongue of angels. So there is one form of speaking in tongues that is, like, yes, literal languages that people could understand. And then there's another form that is simply talking to God that nobody understands. So, yeah, I can see why you would say it sounds like gibberish to you. But there is an explanation for that.
People are broken, so no church is perfect. I agree. No church is perfect.
Certain mega churches who decide to use their pedestal for politics should get their churches taxed.
I don't have a problem with the churches being taxed.
Neither do I. I actually think that they should be. I think that the church should willingly pay taxes.
Here's the thing, though, is that a lot of times the premise was the monies that are being collected in the church are designed to serve the community.
Uh-huh.
So because that money is being channeled to the community, they're already paying the tax. Because, for
I
example,
see.
when I get taxed, it's to build the street.
Yeah, I see.
So the premise of the church was you're supposed to be a force for good in the community. So when you collate all that money, it's supposed to go out and take care of people. So
yeah,
it's already serving the public interest.
Yep, I see what you're saying.
That's what's supposed to happen.
But I think that.
But if you're a mega church and you're fueling somebody's giant, 50-room mansion,
yeah,
it's a different story.
Jet or whatever it is.
It's a different story. Did you guys get my video on Facebook? I don't know. What is dudism? Is dudism a thing?
No.
I don't see the correlation between churches, a Christian speaking about a political issue and losing tax exempt status. I think if you can't demonstrate that, X% of your money is going to actually serve the public good of the surrounding community, then I think you should lose your tax exempt status. But I don't see how a person speaking politically about how they feel is should warrant losing tax exempt
Well, I
status.
think that they're saying there's supposed to be separation of church and state. And so if you have your church that's not separating itself from the state, well, then pay your taxes. I think that's what they mean.
Yeah. I don't see it.
It
just seems to me that it's one of these sort of like, hey, it's basically now you're using the tax exempt status as hush money. So it's like,
ooh, that's true
hey,
too, yeah.
that wasn't the original idea for why churches were tax exempt in the first place.
Yeah. Silver, yes, but a lot of people speak gibberish and pretend to be speaking in tongues to seem more spiritual. Yeah, that is true. Because there are some churches that teach that you're not like actually saved or actually a Christian or a part of the group if you don't speak in tongues, but they don't realize that. Is that in Corinthians also?
What?
The list where it talks about it being a gift. Do all speak in tongues? Do all do
1
this.
Corinthians 12.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians 12. So if they don't recognize that it's actually just a gift that some people are going to get and some people aren't going to get, then they're going to put that kind of pressure on people. And then, yeah, people fake it because they're like, well, I don't want to be like not spiritual or whatever. So, and Nero, the point of going to church, you would get more like community with the group of people than you can get like cyberish with us, you know?
Yeah, Perkinos, if churches are considered a value part of the community, I have no problem with them not being taxed. Yeah, I just think that they should be able to demonstrate empirically, hey, here's where monies are going. We were part of a church one time that literally 100% of the money was going back out into the community.
Yeah.
Like literally 100%.
Yeah.
The
More than that, because like 100% of what was coming in and we were all putting in.
Right.
Yeah.
And the pastor wasn't collecting his salary. Nobody was collecting his salary.
No.
And 100% of them, you're right, probably 150% of the money went back into everything for the community.
Yeah.
So an organization like that, obviously they've already paid their taxes, but if it's flipped the other way and 90% of this, you know, it's a 95% of the money is going to the pastor's, you know, helipad, and then the other thing, then that's a different story.
Yeah, we do, Nero. We do have the village, but it's not the same as like actually like with somebody, you know, because it's all cyber, you know. The teen. So Cohen, huh? LOL. I love how you guys try to shoot for topics of discussion, and these videos always take a hard left.
Every single time. And I'm okay with that.
Silver, Sorry and Vin, what are your favorite animals and colors? It's important.
I feel like I have an obvious favorite animal.
I don't know what it is. What is it?
I don't know.
I thought.
I feel like there's a real obvious one where I'd be like, oh, of course.
I don't think I have a favorite animal. Like, I like a great picture of like a lion, or a great picture of a really, really dark, sleek panther, or a pretty horse.
Oh, a Black Panther. That's my favorite animal.
Where did that come from?
What do you think about the Virginia governor to say they would keep a child alive?
His favorite color is black. I like black or turquoise. And
what do you think about Virginia governor saying they would keep a child alive 2 weeks and mom make a decision and doesn't count as an abortion? Yeah, I mean, Rattlehead, we shot a video on that actually. So that's all there. And we actually had the video where he said that and commented on it. So you can check it out on the channel if you'd like. Wakanda forever.
I know, Mark. I was like looking at the calendar and I got confused and I thought that the show was like, I was like, oh my gosh, the show is like tomorrow. I'm like, what did we do? We got this all screwed up. And so I was actually about to message Vin, and then I like realized that it's actually in April. So yeah, we will see you face to face.
Oh yeah, that's coming up so soon.
Yeah.
1 month, man.
Yeah.
Well, oh, by the way, guys, tomorrow's our anniversary.
Yep.
Where I randomly drove her to the
Justice of the Peace. Is that what they call it?
The
town office.
JOP, and she's like, "What are you doing?"
I got an idea when we were on the way, and I was like, you can't just bring me and like without, you have to ask me. Remember when I said that?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, March 1st is our first anniversary. Check out My Sorry Life, the wedding video, and we'll explain it all there.
Right.
Really? Your spirit animal is a crow or a raven? How does that make you feel? A crow? I hate crows. They get into your trash and pull everything out and make a giant mess.
Crows do?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Did you ever put trash out by the end of the driveway? So frustrating.
Which God is which? Christian, Jews, Muslims? I don't understand that question.
Damn, Vin, Mr. Romance, LOL. Drove me over.
I am the least romantic human being of all time, and when I try to be romantic, this one destroyed it, and I still haven't recovered. So
he still hasn't let me post the video.
Leave it, yeah.
No, he is romantic, but he like holds it back, and then when he does stuff, he waits too long, and I figure it out.
I didn't wait too long, but that's another story. Pretty sure my spirit animal is a nutria rat.
A rat.
Allahu Akbar. That's so terrible.
Wait. Well, how do people even know what their spirit animal is?
I have,
Is there
I have no idea.
Is it like the month you were born is how you figure that out, or do people just say, "Oh, I relate to this animal, so that's why it is"?
The thing is, like, that's a real part of many native cultures.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird, you know, because it's like a real thing, but then other people start using it.
What's the date of the anniversary of the channel?
April 1, I'm pretty sure.
April 1st? A month after we got married, we started doing this?
Yeah.
Just pick one. Makes no difference. Sorry. Well, I want to... What the heck is an otherkin? You have to ask an otherkin and they tell you?
That's probably the... what's that, Pony? That's... Because I said it was like a native thing or whatever. So...
Oh my word. We started the channel on April Fool's Day?
Nah, it must have been like the end of March.
You're just drawn to that animal. Oh, so is that like when you ask somebody their favorite animal and they know immediately? No, my spirit animal is not a crow.
Zork won Vingo? How did Zork win Vingo?
Because you said the words. Don't tell him, because then it tips him off to what's there.
What did I say?
You said the things that you say. The things that you repeat.
They always blame me, but somebody brought up abortion. I didn't bring up abortion. I've been dodging. I've been dodging it. You know, answering.
Maybe they
it
dropped that because they wanted to win Vingo.
Oh, I see.
And you just take that bait.
For the anniversary of the channel, you have to do a big stream.
Shift.
I've got Ben Webb's number. I just don't have him like listed as Ben Webb.
Oh.
Because I text him like, "Yo, big homie, we're live. What's up, buddy?"
Well, just look through your messages and find the one that's the most insulting. You'll know it's him.
Yeah. Other kin are people who think they associate as things like a lamp or a dog or a table. Or
what?
That's pretty crazy.
And they tell you what your spirit animal is?
That's crazy. We got 20 minutes left, ladies and gents.
Crows are one of the smartest animals, actually.
Your anniversary is a week before my birthday. Trying to steal my spotlight. Sorry, spirit animal's a dove. That's a good one.
A dove sounds very graceful and nice.
You're a falcon. Remember the falcon?
One of many epic fails.
What do you think about trans women competing with women in combat sports?
I think that's terrible, and I don't think that that should happen.
Well, you had Fallon Fox who destroyed somebody's eye socket. What people don't understand about combat sports is they're very dangerous. You can get
Good night, Senior. Thank you for the super chat.
Well, Senior Clay, appreciate you. You get CTE and all that. I think we've got a lot of work to figure a lot of this stuff out.
Yeah, I don't think it's right. It's not fair.
But I mean, when you've got there was a track thing, and some of the stuff to me is just patently obvious. Like the track one,
yeah,
she transitioned, and then there she is on the thing, and she's like destroying everyone.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, well, obviously there's a physiological advantage here,
right?
And we've got to kind of slow down and think things through. And what people don't understand is that these records, these kids monetize that stuff and turn it into scholarships and things like that. So there's stuff on the line for these kids, and so we got to really make sure that we're making the playing field level for everyone.
I'll think to myself whenever I think about it, I'm like, well, they should have like a separate league where it's like trans men or trans women and they compete against each other. But then I'm like, but they don't make up a huge percentage of the population. I don't even know if there would be like enough to be able to so they have to make up part of the they make up
I
a small
would
percent of
actually-
the population, and then even a smaller amount of them would be up for wanting to do those.
And I don't know if I'm out of bounds here, but
things.
I'd actually like to hear from some of
Tina?
the folks in our community, if they want to weigh in on that and hear their perspective.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, I agree. I wonder if anybody's on tonight.
What do you think of the Captain Marvel debacle with Rotten Tomatoes? I'm not sure. What's a Captain Marvel debacle?
Yeah. And the Great Owl of Wisdom, or something like that.
What's that?
Your spirit animal would be the Owl of Wisdom.
Oh, I would be the Owl of Wisdom.
That
That's
would be a
right.
swan.
Yeah, you could be a swan. You could definitely be a swan. For sure. It was getting such low ratings, like 24% or something like that, before it was even out. So Rotten Tomatoes changed the rating system because money.
Oh no! Are you serious? I can see how that would be horrible for your movie if they rate you low.
Yeah, but that happens all the time.
Yeah, I know, but
So wait, they changed the entire way they rate the system because Captain Marvel was getting low scores? I don't understand. MDeath fan, explain.
I'm gonna watch a movie, which rarely happens. I'll be like picking one, and I'm like, "This looks like a great one," and they're always boring.
That's usually when you're mad at me, though.
No, it's been when you're like in the shower for a long time, or if you're on a live stream or something, and I'm like, I need to rest.
And there it goes.
Maybe I'm mad at you. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Why are you pissed, Chanel? Now it's glitching on our end. Somebody said something. YouTube's YouTube's demonetizing people because of the comments in the because of the comments in the comment section.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, look, the vast majority of our stuff gets demonetized anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't really affect us, but I could definitely see how a person could be frustrated if that was their primary source of income.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty crazy.
How can you control what other people are going to say in your chat?
You can't. And then if I don't like you, if I don't like Uncle Dan's or whatever.
Oh yeah, you could just go in
I could just go in there and say a bunch of crazy things and then report myself.
Oh my God.
And then have your entire thing demonetized.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
True. I wonder if you delete the messages though.
It's impossible.
Well, you just have to have moderators.
It's impossible.
Depends on how fast your chat's going.
It's impossible. What are you talking about? No, I'm not talking about live streams.
What?
I'm talking about you post
section?
a video.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, they shut down like 400 plus channels.
Gosh.
Um,
I'm always worried that's going to happen and that people won't be able to find us.
I'm not worried about that. Look, at the end of the day, YouTube doesn't owe us anything. So that's how I feel about it.
Well, yeah, I still don't like the idea that it could get shut down and then people can't find us.
Yeah, but we've got a website and ways to contact us. We'd be able to regroup.
Brie Larson, who plays Captain Marvel, was commenting on the movie A Wrinkle in Time. She said she was tired of 40-year-old white dudes reviewing movies that are not meant for them.
That is ridiculous.
What?
It's always this thing where old white men, blah blah blah. Like white men no longer are allowed to have an opinion in a public square.
It's saying like if there's a movie that's geared for children, and then you have like just 40-year-old white guys that are rating this movie. Well, how can you say that's an authentic rating? It's geared for kids, not 40-year-old men.
Well, you think those kids are going to the movies by themselves?
it's about whether the kids are gonna like it.
Yeah, but the guy has a right to air out his
Yeah,
opinion.
he can have his opinion, but how does
He
that?
doesn't get to rate it on the show. He doesn't get to rate it on Rotten Tomatoes because he's a 40-year-old white man.
What? I don't know how Rotten Tomatoes works. I thought we were talking about like there's like a panel of people that like rate the different movies.
No, it's well. Even if there was, okay, even if there was one, what does that have to do with anything?
No,
he has to endure the movie.
See what you just said?
Yeah.
He has to endure the movie.
Yeah.
It's geared for children, and it might be a movie that's geared for 10-year-old girls. So he has to endure it.
You know what
but
happened?
the 10-year-old girls are gonna love it.
You know what happened?
What happened?
Shrek.
Yeah, what about it?
Shrek figured it out. Because what they did
Oh, I know, yeah.
what Shrek did was they put a bunch of subliminals in there that only adults would get.
Yeah.
And it flew right over the head of the kids.
Right.
And that's why it blew up the way that it did.
Yeah.
Well, that's what criticism does. It makes you better.
Yeah. Well,
But this whole thing where it's like, oh, you're a 40-year-old white man. You said something mean about my movie. Like, are you kidding me? Like, get better in your writing. Write in such a way that the 40-year-old white guy who's taking his daughter to the movie
appreciates it
is going to like the movie.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't understand this. I see it all the time on left-wing media, this 40-year-old white guy. Like, this guy's like the collation of everything wrong with the planet is a 40-year-old white guy. I don't get it.
Did we tell one of our kids they're supposed to be in bed for 10?
I don't remember that.
I thought you told one of them they have to go to bed early.
I told Dorian to make sure that kitchen was 1% clean, but other than that.
Okay, I thought last night you said he needs to be going to bed early. An hour earlier.
Oh, okay, so that comment blew up. It backfired big time on Brie Larson and Captain Marvel. That's why it was downvoted on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. So people were downvoting her like crazy because she said that sexist, racist stuff. And then... That's not sexist or racist?
I'm saying I don't have a problem with what she said.
Yeah, because it's a white guy. So if somebody said, I make movies for little white kids and 30-year-old black men, it's not for them.
You're right. It's racist.
That would be...
It's racist, babe!
So... And that's the other thing. Just because a woman's the main character doesn't mean it's for a little girl. I loved, and the boys loved Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but the minute you guys saw the previews for that one, you're like, bleh! Ah!
What?
That Marvel
one.
one.
Yeah, it just looked corny. Yeah, hey, Chris. Yeah, vidatory@gmail.com. We can chat. I don't understand it. It's like, come on, y'all. It's weird to me that people aren't figuring this out. Like, stop making everything about the 40-year-old white guy. Let the guy live.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I made products that were geared for black people's hair, and it was getting rated by white people, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want my product rated by white people. White people's hair and black people's hair is different. Just like a 40-year-old is going to enjoy something different than a 6-year-old. So...
No, I don't have a... It's obvious that certain...
She didn't have to say the white guys. It's like... But I see what you're saying.
Certain movies are targeted towards certain things. But targeting a movie towards certain groups is not the same thing as saying, this is not for you. That's crazy. The rule should be, if you couldn't say it about a black woman, you shouldn't be able to say it, period. You couldn't go out in public and say, this movie is not for black people.
No.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Career suicide.
Right.
And what leftists don't realize is that the vast majority of the spending power in America is the 40-year-old white guy. Dummy. Hello. They're the ones that are spending the money. So it's insane to me. Like, they're the ones that are lining your pocket. So how are you going to come and say something like that to them? What the hell do you think is happening? You think these dudes are driving to the movie theater and dropping off Susie and telling her, hey, 6-year-old, I'll come back and get you because this movie's not for me.
Well, she played in the movie? She played in the movie?
Huh?
I'm
Brie Larson, I'm assuming she's the star of the thingamajig.
Okay, well, she's probably upset that her stuff is not getting viewed. So blame it on them.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy. I think I just think this stuff is crazy. Chanel, I'm a 9-year-old. You're not no 9-year-old, are you? Are you a 9-year-old? Why are you on this forum? 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes. Really? Hand to hand? No superpowers? I think Superman would be very hesitant to attack a woman. So I don't disagree with you. What's good, Stu? Well, yeah, that's the other thing, Doss, is that it's all the 40-year-old guys that were reading comics back in the day that made it so that these movies are... This doesn't make sense to me. Right. Wrinkle in Time was a book we all read, in the 8th, 9th grade or 4th grade or whatever. Why no love for Black Label Society? We haven't received a lot of requests for Black Label Society. So I don't know. What do you want to talk about, Chris? Just curious. Black backdrop, black head. Remember back in the day, like when we first started?
Yeah, they said our heads were floating.
Yeah. Superman hit Wonder Woman in the Justice. Yeah, but that's when he was like not himself. One bingo I reveal a free space, which we just call original sin. I didn't say anything about original sin though. I don't think we did.
Yeah, but you just said that, so that did it.
Damn you, Gersark.
Did you fall for that on purpose?
No. All right, Leah.
Good night, Leah.
Okay, so that's what's happening. So she made that statement, and then, yes, I did. I did contact Non Sequitur,
Okay,
BM fan.
so it's not just random people watching it. It is a panel of people that rate it before it comes out?
No, I'll tell you in a second.
Oh.
I did contact Non Sequitur. Zonia talked to me about it. I went to their Facebook. I messaged a guy. The little icon popped. He saw me. So it's the ball's in their court. Captain Marvel's not even out yet. People are downrating it. Okay, so what happens is anybody can go on Rotten Tomatoes and vote on it.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not a panel. It's anybody on the planet can
How
vote
are
on
people
it.
voting on it if it's not even out?
Well, they'll do that. It's up for vote. Like
How can
Black
it be
Panther,
up for vote? It's not even out.
Black Panther had 100% whatever before it even came out or whatever. But what happened is she goes and makes his statement, right?
Yep.
Pisses off all these people.
Yep.
And then they go and vote. They
Oh,
downvoted
gosh.
it.
Okay.
So
Oh.
yeah.
So she didn't say that statement responding to all their votes.
No, she said it,
Oh,
and then
okay.
it created the votes.
Well,
So good for
That
her.
wasn't very smart of
That's
her.
what she gets. That's what she gets. You don't get to say racist stuff without. See, I believe in free speech, but you don't get to say racist stuff without consequence. And if you're gonna be big enough to make the statement, then you should be big enough to deal with the consequences of said statement. That's how we function. You can't complain about it.
right.
I'm always gonna roll with Batman. I read a comic one time with Batman, with the JLA, and throughout the comic, everybody is like, weakness was getting exploited, and like the Joker, Lex Luthor had access to everybody's weakness or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're like, "How is this happening?" And then it came out, and like at the end, that Batman was the one because he had basically collected
Oh,
all
yeah.
these because he was watching everybody.
Yeah.
And he basically had this diary of everybody's, whatever. And then Lex Luthor got his hands on it. So they had cornered Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor was like, "Oh, it's Batman's diary." And it was crazy because in the next, you open the next page,
Yeah.
and everybody in the JLA is just looking at Batman like, "Yo, son." Yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy moment. The comics are pretty, it's a really, really interesting medium. When there's a good writer, it's very engrossing.
Huh.
So Batman, after that, I was like, that's it. Halas. Batman is, that's it.
No, we were never allowed to read comics.
Batman is hands down the GOAT. Nobody could deal with Batman. He's too smart. He's too smart. Everybody else, he's playing chess. Everybody else is playing,
Checkers.
tic-tac-toe.
Oh, it's even worse.
Can't deal with Bruce Wayne. Can't deal with Bruce Wayne. They are. Comics are an insane rabbit hole to fall down. Sure, Silver, I appreciate it. The consequences are essentially a lie. They've not seen the movie yet. I don't think that should be allowed. Lying and making up stuff because something doesn't sit well with me. Well, Steven, it's basically a form of protest slash boycott in a sense. It's kind of an economic embargo to some degree because I do make my viewing decisions based on Rotten Tomatoes.
You do.
Anything,
that's how you find all the great movies.
Anything that's below 60%, I don't even look at it.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 hours of my time, and you guys know our lifestyle. Time is very important to us.
Right.
So we're not going to waste our time on something that gets low rated. But the thing about Rotten Tomatoes is there's the expert rating, and then there's the audience rating.
Yep.
So, yeah, Batman. See, that's the one. BM fan. I read that Batman has a plan to kill every superhero if they go rogue. Yeah.
If they go rogue.
Yeah. Teed, no comment because I'm not dealing with spoilers. Right. IMD and not Rotten Tomatoes. Right. This is interesting. What Orwell feared about those who would ban books, what Huxley feared was that there would be no reason to ban a book, for there would be no one who wanted to read one. Whoa, that's a good one. What's up, David Hernandez? We're talking about Rotten Tomatoes.
What time are you done
at? 5 minutes, guys. Thoughts on Gotham? We haven't started watching Gotham yet. We've got the show that we're watching with the kids. We're very happy about it.
I keep falling asleep though.
Hey, Gershok, what are some of your favorite low-rated Rotten Tomatoes movies?
Hey, K2.
K2 is like old school. K2's been with us for a while. There's some names from like, yo, K2.
Did you hear the kids last night when we were watching the show? And then, like, one of them was like, they're both asleep. And then one of the other ones goes, hey, you guys, wake up. I was like, don't even say that to me. I need to sleep right now. I was, like, so tired. We were, like, with them all day doing stuff.
I know.
I'm like, leave me alone. You're lucky you're still in my room.
Lords of Chaos. No, we haven't seen that movie yet, but we will. Haven't. Okay, I'm not talking about any shows.
Right. We don't want any spoilers.
What's up, Matt Roberts? They didn't remove ratings. They removed want to see scores.
Like if people want to go see it or not?
Yeah. Something got a 5 on Rotten Tomatoes? Okay. As in it.
Or is it that movie that the kids keep asking if they can watch. No.
I really like Valerian. Yeah, Valerian was an interesting movie. We saw that one.
I don't remember which one that one is.
Let me see this right now.
Yeah, K2, that's what I'm saying.
What?
How do you rate a movie that isn't even out yet?
What
I
about?
don't think that's right.
Okay, what about Gosling, Rich? What about him? The only thing I know about Gosling was if he'd have been around, if you'd have done all that dirt now, he'd have been fine. He'd have been held as a hero by these people.
Master of Disguise has got a 1%. The Witch, when you get a chance, it's a great film. Oh, 1%. That's terrible.
What's the name of the thing again?
What one?
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Let's see. I want to see what it says here.
I don't know, Stu Mao. Did he tell you he was going to tell you that later?
What?
What's Vin's score on the Alter Bridge concert with orchestra?
Oh, that's a smart little angle they got there.
What?
Okay, so it's at a 59 right now, Captain Marvel.
Gosh.
He was at a 24, so they found a way to get it up to a 59. See, it's so funny. Now that I see this 59, I don't want to watch the movie. No, that's Greta. Captain Marvel, I don't even think is rated. Where's the rating for Captain Marvel? Tomato meter, not available yet. Audience scored. Oh, there it is right there. They just deleted it. Wow. That's crazy. Well, okay. That's the solution. So they just disabled the rating system.
Did you watch Unthinkable yet? No, that sounds interesting.
Is that an abortion movie? I told them earlier we're not going to watch any abortion movies.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'm not. I can't do it. I cannot do it.
Are you looking up? What are you looking up?
Well, I just Googled Unthinkable. I don't know what that is. It's in 2000. Oh, yeah, I've seen Unthinkable, actually.
Is it good? Would I like it?
Yeah, she said some Arabic at the end of the... No. That was a different movie. Yeah, it was all right. It was all right.
No.
Yeah. It was Trinity from The Matrix.
Oh, okay.
Lords of Chaos got a 68. Cassandra Cain is my favorite comic character. Cassandra Cain has my favorite name.
Really?
Yeah.
The first and last?
Do you guys ever watch those Christian-made movies like God's Not Dead or War Room? Yes.
Yep.
You guys ever... That's Sori's favorite show, The Office. Like comedy, like sitcom.
I enjoyed it. Well, a lot of times the stuff that he picks is intense. So I haven't watched a whole lot of like sit down and kind of like have a light moment sort of shows. Because I haven't seen any shows. Like I didn't see any of those.
I've kept Black Hawk Down from you. I've shielded you from Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, but I don't know what your reason is for that. Because you showed me other things. But
it's a very, very sacred movie.
I liked that other... Yeah, I figured I wasn't allowed in. The other movie, the other show I laughed more at, that Martin one.
Oh, Martin? Yeah.
But it wasn't Martin, it was called something else.
Marlin, yeah. The one
yeah, there was only one season, but I laughed more. I don't know, there was stuff that I laughed at in the Office too. We were watching it regularly. I really liked. I did not like Dwight. Remember when we first started watching it? Yeah. I was like, I don't like that guy. He looks like a pervert. I don't like him. And then he grew on me, and then I started liking him. I liked how he was. All right, honey.
Oh, I actually do want to watch Dogma. the Christian movies are. There was one Christian movie that was. What was it?
Was it good or bad?
Yeah, we had to drive all the way to Bangor to watch it. Remember that one? We took all the kids. It's the abortion one. He was he was a veteran. He came back from the war and everything. I forgot the name of the movie.
Yeah.
We actually were able to interview the director.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the last question I have before we go. Is Lords of Chaos, is it a documentary? Is it a docudrama? What is Lords of Chaos? Courageous. I like Courageous.
Actually, Sayla liked that one. She was talking about it the other day. Because remember the dad saves the kid?
Yes. Paul the Apostle of Christ. I love the Paul movie. That was good. The Passion obviously was good. There's a Resurrection movie that Mel Gibson's working on right now. That's really good.
They've been talking about it for a while. It's actually happening now?
Yeah, we're going to do something really big for that movie. So that's one. All right, Jay. We'll talk to you later, big homie. We'll check your messages, buddy. Y'all need to watch. Everybody's telling us to watch Westworld.
Jesus of Nazareth versus the Ten Commandments. Two best Christian movies ever, by the way, he says. I
gotta roll with the Ten Commandments.
I always like the Ten Commandments more, although there's a lot of inaccuracies in that.
Oh yeah.
In that film.
Yeah.
So if you only watch that, you won't have your story straight. You'll just think you do.
Yeah.
But I always liked that girl, the one that liked him.
Yeah.
Nasser Fairy or something like that. She had some. We would always act that out when we were kids. We'd make a big mud pit and we'd have the boys go in it and we'd whip them, our cousins, not viciously. And then one of us would be sitting there and they'd be like, "Get that slave for me." And then they'd grab one of them and then we'd be like, no, the dirty one.
Seventh-day Adventism. Yeah, I find it very interesting. I've talked to one of them at length one time, and it was an extremely fascinating conversation. For sure. Somebody said something, but I forgot. No, I was a Moses guy when I was young, man. Like Moses was my guy. I just kept rereading Exodus through Deuteronomy. I didn't get into the New Testament until I was like 12. Seriously, I just kept reading over and over. That's why I'm such a fan of the Old Testament God. That's my guy. I love him.
Yep, you do.
He's my favorite. I love him. It's my guy. I'm mad at him for not letting Moses in the Promised Land, but now that I'm a father, I understand. But yeah, I'm rolling with the Ten Commandments all day. All day. Todo dia. Top 3 conversations of all time. Top 3 conversations of all time? Dang. Me and Sori had a conversation one time. You were showing me your old poetry. Remember that time? That was my favorite conversation of all time. Ever.
Weren't we laughing a lot?
We were laughing a lot. It was just a really, really special moment and irreplicatable.
Yep.
And there really isn't anything that can even come close to that.
We used to go for really long walks too and talk about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. But that conversation was just so special.
Yeah. I just remember laughing so hard and shoving my face in the blanket because I was laughing so hard.
Yeah. You never converse about my old poetry. After all Moses did, why wasn't he able to go to heaven at the end? Well, he went to heaven, but he wasn't able to enter the Promised Land, and I think there's a very important reason for that. Moses was the biggest hero of the Old Testament, and even he wasn't able to go into the Promised Land, which meant that there was somebody that was coming later who was more righteous than Moses, because Moses was the greatest person that you could conceive of, and even he wasn't going to make it. So the idea was, if you think that you're going to get in with God by being a good person, you're wrong, because there's no way you could be better than Moses, and he couldn't get in for being a good person. So there's a really, really important lesson for that.
We did start watching that Umbrella, Silver, but we were watching it with the kids, and then like the first show or the second show, like the people were, I don't know. All I know is this one character went in and he's throwing everybody around. There was like blood that you could see on the side of the glass, and I was trying to get the remote to stop it because I'm like, this is too much.
Yeah.
And the kid came out with all this blood on his face. I'm like, oh right, and I like shut it down. I'm like, this is too much. I don't want you kids seeing this.
Yeah. All right, guys. We got to get out of here. I said 20 minutes, 42 minutes ago, but you guys know what happens when I hang out with y'all. Yeah, bums. I can't wait for GOT. What's that?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Okay. Voicemail? Hey, Joey, check out Akhenaten. He's a very interesting character. And there seems to be some correlations between Akhenaten and Moses. Then, of course, there's this Thutmose, which if you take away the Thut, M-O-S-E-S, Thutmose. So there's a lot of really interesting stuff. Is Judas misunderstood? I feel bad for him not being saved. Yeah, I think Judas is misunderstood. I feel bad for him too.
I always did too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Make sure shows are kid friendly first in the future.
How could Moses find his way to heaven if he didn't know Jesus?
That, Silver?
Moses did know Jesus. Okay. We seriously have to go. But it's so hard.
Are you sure?
It's so hard. But I have to let him go. All right, guys.
Just say been out.
Been out.
Story out.